Excellencies, distinguished delegates, I thank you for inviting me to participate in this timely event to help prepare for and set the tone for the first International Migration Review Forum, which will take place from 17th to 20th May 2022 under the auspices of the UN General Assembly. As anticipated in the Global Compact for Safe, Orderly, and Regular Migration, during this dialogue, we will exchange views and reflect on our success and failures in implementing its provisions. By doing so, we will also fulfill our responsibility outlined in the modalities resolution of the forum. This resolution invites the international dialogue for migration to, and I quote, contribute to the International Migration Review Forum by providing relevant data, evidence, best practices, innovative approaches, and recommendations as they relate to the implementation of the Global Compact for Safe, Orderly, and Regular Migration. Throughout our conversation, let us recall that the adoption of the Compact was a historic opportunity to shape a new global framework for migration. That choice stemmed for our common conviction that through the international cooperation we can manage global migration in a manner that is effective, just, human, and beneficial to migrant communities and host countries alike. To that end, we have made commendable strides in the past 3 years despite the challenges of COVID-19. Yet our successes remain fragile, and we must solidify and build upon them. Much work remains to be done, and our concerted action is needed. The tasks before us are plenty. Addressing unregulated migration, building inclusive societies, rescuing lives and protecting the most vulnerable, and expanding social protections to cover migrants, including by providing them access to healthcare and vaccination, just to name a few. As we prepare to engage on these topics, I acknowledge and applaud that this international migration dialogue is aligned with the priorities set by the United Nations Secretary General in his report on the progress on the implementation of the Global Compact. I will be eager to receive the outcomes of this dialogue. Dear colleagues, migration is a key feature of a more interconnected world. Despite significant concerns about its economic and social implications, the movement of people across the world's borders boosts global productivity. It's often been seen that the countries that prioritize integration stand to make the most of this potential, improving outcomes for their own economies and societies, as well as for immigrants themselves. Today, we will discuss some of the most pressing issues pertinent to migrants and migration, including combating the rapid growth of migrant smuggling and human trafficking networks, the new challenges in addressing inclusion, and the positive role of remittances in alleviating financial burdens. I urge the participants to build on this dialogue and to use the intervening time between now and the IMRF to listen and prepare. Through robust communication policies, we must set a positive narrative and combat the increasing stigmatization, racism, and xenophobia that increasing numbers of migrants endure. We must urge countries to move beyond words and implement comprehensive, effective, and humane migrant policies in practice. These policies must be aligned with our broader vision of facilitating planned, safe, and regular pathways for migration while offering protection to those who need it. We must call on policymakers to recognize and value the role migrants play in these countries. They are entitled to compensation for their work, to protection without discrimination, and to key social services in countries of origin and destination. And we must call on states and stakeholders to act with trust and solidarity to implement migration policies that are aligned with the Global Compact as part of our efforts to recover better, meet the Sustainable Development Goals, and usher in a brighter, safer future for everyone. I thank you and wish you all a very productive discussion.